everyone, and welcome back to the Railway Shed. Today we'll be taking a look at this Hornby Railway's London Brighton South Coast Railway E2 class tank engine, which I bought recently at the White Webb's Model Railway exhibition for just £20. The locomotive is R number 353. To be honest, this is some of my favourite form of the Hornby packaging over the years. While not containing its original instructions, this engine does come with a lovely depiction of an artist's rendition of an early prototype of this engine. Out of the box, the locomotive is absolutely exquisitely detailed, having moulded, detailed and separately applied ones as well, such as the Westinghouse pumps either side of the tanks. Both the handrails and the whistle are separately applied pieces. The livery on these locomotives, as well as the other London Brighton South Coast locomotives in the brown and yellow, are absolutely exquisite and some of my favourite locomotive liveries. The lining on this model was really good, being that this model was from the 70s and 80s. There is also separately applied cab details, which are rather hard to see through my camera, sorry. The paint of my one's wheel sets have been a bit stripped, however I've found it to be a rather reliable runner so far. These locomotives also later became the basis for the Hornby Thomas models, using the same moulding except for extra details like the front splasher as well as longer tank, which were found on the second batch of E2s, however not on this one as it depicts the first of the class, number 100. Thomas, of course, is a completely fictional engine, however in my headcanon the North Western Railway bought an E1 tank engine just before the start of World War I. However, during the mix-up, they accidentally sent over an E2. To keep it under wraps, they let the North Western have an E2 at its originally agreed price, and covered it up by building another E2 for its batch of engines. Now let's put this locomotive on the layout. I'll give you a brief history of the E2s as a class of engine. The E2s were built between 1913 and 1915, having a total batch of 10 produced. The first 5 had a shorter tank capacity, which meant they weren't as capable on shorter goods trains, and one was trialled out on a passenger train, which it proved incapable for due to strange balancing between the boiler and the wheel set. It also has a rather large wheel set for a tank engine, and is also rather tall, being the same height roughly as an A3. The locomotive sort of became an ugly duckling of the London Brighton South Coast Railway fleet until they were brought into the Southern Railway in 1923 by the Railway Act of 1921, where they continued life working at Southampton docks all the way until the 1960s, where the last one was withdrawn by British Rail. In their time, they wore the London Brighton South Coast Railway chocolate and yellow livery, along with the Southern Rail Brunswick green livery, as well as the BR black livery. There is only some surviving footage of the locomotives working, which I'll put on screen now. Now let's see how the locomotive performs. Firstly, we'll do a crawl. Rather controlled and perfect for a shunter, though it does lurch forward slightly. This one's motor has obviously been very well maintained. Now let's try backwards. Oh, it's stalled. Stalled again. It must be worse going in reverse than forward. Now let's see this really useful engine in action. I'll leave you with some running footage. Please remember to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. For the E2, I've assembled a mixed goods train with also a coach. I hope you enjoy this running session. My general ratings for this engine.